Money Vikings, welcome back to our channel. Thanks a lot for joining me. I have a really interesting one that I think will help us all build a life of true wealth. Today, we're going to go through the 5 major benefits of the Mediterranean diet, and we're going to talk about what it is. A key aspect of what we call true wealth here at Money Vikings is a holistic approach to investing. There's a lot of people out there that talk solely about automate the investments in the 401k, compounding, don't buy this, don't buy that, buy a mixed bag of stocks and bonds and let it ride. Yeah, that's all pretty straightforward stuff, actually. But what's the art form and what is the holistic approach to a life of true wealth? That's what we're really trying to get at here. And I believe a key aspect of that is in addition to managing our finances and our investing, also managing our relationships and our health. And of course, I also like to combine the aspect of collectibles and games with that because I think that's part of building relationships and friendships and just enjoying life. So anyway, so we do a key pillar of a life of true wealth is our diet and our health in general. And study after study has shown that the foundational principles of a Mediterranean diet, those types of diets that you find in certain parts of Italy and the Mediterranean countries like Greece, etc., is actually seems to be a very optimal diet and life culture in terms of extending our life, not only extending our life, but the more important thing beyond just a number is to also extend the quality of our life. It's not just about years, it's how many of those years can you be active and thoughtful and creative and productive and just be able to function in a way where you're not always in pain or you're not demobilized or whatever it might be. So let's get right into it here. The 5 benefits of the Mediterranean diet. Again, I talk about it here. Our health is clearly linked to our diet and movement practices, but we have been brainwashed in a way to develop really awful eating patterns. We typically in the modern world, we live in an environment where people are sedentary, they're sitting a lot. And in addition to that, there's a tempting fast food option literally on every corner, just screaming at us with really typically inexpensive and really non-nutritious food. The food is loaded with sugar. It's been devoid of all the nutrients that might have been in the original ingredients and all kinds of filler and stuff that's actually making us feel awful and sick. Now, I think it's a balance, and none of this is healthcare advice. You've got to see your doctor. You have to see your healthcare provider, a dietitian. I'm not a dietitian. This is research we've done, and it's just things that we have learned and brought together and are trying to incorporate into our life. So it's a heart-healthy region. One of the biggest demobilizers or killers or health problems that people face are heart problems. It's pretty bad in the modern world. So the Mediterranean diet is known for being heart healthy, and we'll get into why. But it's places like the food that's traditionally served in Greece, Italy, Spain, Morocco, Egypt, and Lebanon. Which, by the way, it also just tastes great. And that's another key aspect of this. We call it a diet, but diet has become such a bad word. Everyone is actually on a diet. A diet consists of the food that we eat. We've made it into this term of it's a time to deny ourselves things or deny ourselves good foods or to, all this kind of weird, I think, I guess associations that have been made to the word diet, but it's not about that. It's a diet is basically the culmination of what we're eating. That's our typical diet. Number 1, there's an emphasis on plant-based foods. So the Mediterranean diet focuses on consuming plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. So I try to I'm not perfect. I do not have a perfect diet, but I'm trying to be conscious of this. So when I do sit down to eat a meal, I'm just trying to ask myself, is there some way I can get more vegetables, more fruit, more whole grains, more legumes, nuts, whatever it might be, beans into this meal? And that's the key question right there. The second thing are healthy fats. So the diet is typically rich in fats such as olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds. So, and then also fatty fish such as salmon, tuna, or mackerel. So for some reason, these healthy fats seem to be really good in moderation, of course, but they're very good for our arteries and our heart and kind of just keeping everything flowing. It's the unhealthy, like for example, really stay away. It seems that the evidence is completely clear that the trans fats found in a lot of like packaged goods, baked cookies and crackers and stuff like that, there's these trans fats in there that are really bad for us. So number 3, Mediterranean diet typically has a moderate amount of dairy. So there's dairy products such as cheese and yogurts. I know that the yogurts can be really good because they have the probiotics in them, and the probiotics are very good for our gut biome. We're learning that we actually have 2 brains. We have our brain up here, but we also have a kind of brain in our gut. There's a communication there, and when our gut biome is not healthy, our overall system doesn't seem to be that healthy. Mediterranean diet does seem to limit red meat. It doesn't seem that they're not saying never eat red meat, but it's not an everyday thing. It seems to be an every once in a while thing. The Mediterranean diet seems to opt more for proteins such as poultry, eggs, and fish consumed in moderation. And the other thing is the Mediterranean diet includes the use of herbs and spices to flavor food rather than relying just on salt and sugar. So that's a nice sort of balance right there. I did find, this is a list. You can go to truewealth.moneyvikings.com, and if you check our health section, you'll see this list here. I did start listing out from Healthline, of course, the various foods that are typically part of the Mediterranean diet. Of course, you see olive oil here. Make sure to get, I would opt for a high quality olive oil. Some olive oils are a trick, and they're not actually good oils. They've mixed it or something to sell it or to make it cheaper. I would really look into, make sure that your olive oil is virgin, extra virgin olive oil. Avocado oil, then of course you have the dairy section with the yogurts. You have eggs, poultry, fish, legumes such as beans, peas, lentils, etc. The nuts are good for us apparently, cashews, almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, peanut butter, etc. You have the fruits. Pretty much all vegetables and fruits seem to be pretty healthy for humans. I put a link here to some good YouTubes about the Mediterranean diet. But here's some of the benefits. So the benefits are, number 1, you have a reduced risk for heart disease. You have improved brain function. And I guess I would tie the brain function directly to our ability to be good investors. I really do believe that brain function is critical, number 1, to holding down a job in an effective way. We have to have good brain functioning. I think it helps our relationships to have good brain functioning. And I think it makes us better investors and better decision makers. So really think about your brain health. I'm a big fan of Dr. Amen. I would definitely check him out. He's big on brain health. He's written amazing New York Times best-selling books, and he has this Amen Center where they do brain scans, but really, really helpful information about how to have a healthy brain. The Mediterranean diet typically lowers the risk of cancer. It tends to lead to better weight management and a longer and higher quality lifespan. That's the key here, a higher quality lifespan. It's not just the years lived. That's always nice, but you get to live, feeling better for longer. That's the whole point. To me, that is true wealth right there. So anyway, check it out. That was kind of a quick, 8-minute synopsis of the Mediterranean diet. And I think there's a way to really enjoy the flavor of food, the texture of food. Food gives us a lot of pleasure in life. And I think there's a way to do that where food is medicine and it's making us healthier and keeping us alive longer at a better quality of life. So thanks a lot for watching, and talk with you all next time.